Hello, everybody. It is Ashley here from the community team here at Tiltify. We have an amazing chat this week with RedHeadRyan. Ryan is doing an incredible event right now for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It is his first time fundraising as well on the Tiltify platform, so I'm super excited to chat all about that experience. But let's throw it to Ryan to give a brief introduction. Tell us a little bit about your content and being a Facebook gaming streamer.
Hi, well, thanks for having me. Yeah, I am from Seattle, Washington. Normally, I'm out there playing Warzone and getting upset, just like the majority of content creators on that game, and having a little fun on some FPS. But I decided to take a dive into the in real life, the IRL, the just chatting, whatever you want to call it. I guess section of streaming, and kind of branch out from, like I said, playing video games to streaming myself riding across the country on a bicycle.
That is awesome. And I want you to tell us a little bit like how did you come up with this idea to do this for charity?
Well, I've always done a lot of traveling in my life.
Mhm.
I've done like I think 30 countries, a bunch of continents, and I'm always in the realm of challenging myself to do something a little bit more difficult. I've done the trains and the planes and the whatnot of Europe, and I rode a motorcycle through Vietnam, and then I
Wow.
decided, oh, that's tough, but like we can do harder. So I've done a lot of hitchhiking in my life. I hitchhiked from San Francisco to Vancouver, Canada, on the West Coast, and I spent 2 months hitchhiking through New Zealand. And so I always like to try and do something a bit more difficult. Like I said, to challenge myself, and when you do those certain things, you make a lot more connections instead of just doing the hostile life, but putting yourself in a more difficult situation where you don't know where you're going to be every night, and you have to interact with people not in just the big touristy cities, but everywhere in between. And so I always wanted to hitchhike actually across the country, but obviously
Wow.
COVID was the thing, and
Mhm.
I felt, hey, I can't do that. That's not necessarily too responsible. And I thought about, hey, I can just bike across the country. It's pretty solo. I could still wear a mask and interact with people if I needed to, and it'd still be a way to travel, which I love. And what I thought about differently is when I had planned that trip, I think it was about 3.5, 4 months ago when I first had the idea come to me, and COVID was a lot more strict then. But as it got closer to my departure date in July, things started lifting up. People could stop wearing masks. Obviously, the Delta
Yeah.
variant is new, and heck, I might have to be wearing a mask again at the end of this trip.
Mhm.
But the majority of it has been pretty cool. I've been able to chat with people and have a really awesome time. But I thought of doing it for charity, so I didn't just want to just go out and do it for funsies. I thought, hey, let's do some good. And obviously, I picked St. Jude, which I think you're familiar with, and most people
Yeah.
are. I have a connection with that personally, as I lost my father to cancer when I was 19, and so I wanted to do a charity near and dear to my heart. I think cancer is a terrifying disease, and I know way too many
Yeah.
people have had experiences with it. So it's even worse when younger people that are just so new to life are already getting plagued by something so frightening. And the most we can do is try and help a little bit. So that was the charity I decided. I'm writing across this for my dad, and the charity will just go along with it.
Wow, I'm so sorry about your loss. And, I know your dad is looking down on you and just smiling and so proud of you and your fundraising efforts for supporting these kids that are going through these diseases and it's horrible, but there's good people like you that make a difference in their lives and, pave the light for them. So you should be very proud of yourself. And,
Thank you.
thank you for sharing that with us, Ryan. That I get emotional, but I'm not going to get emotional right now. But yeah, your story really, it's touching me and I know it's going to touch the rest of our community. So thank you for sharing that again. We
Yeah, of
appreciate it.
course, of course.
And, let's talk about, your journey as a content creator a little bit more. I want to learn more about you and your story within that space.
Yeah. So I think I've been streaming for about 3 years. I
Mhm.
started when I lived in San Francisco around 2018. I started playing like Blackout, Call of Duty Blackout, like their first battle royale, and
Yeah.
I was working like 3 jobs at the time to afford rent in San Francisco because I wasn't working in tech. I never had a college degree, so I was just It was rough. It was really rough. And the free time that I had, my brother's like, "Hey, you're somewhat good at video games and you're kind of funny. You should like try to stream." I'm like, "Okay." And yeah, I started, playing like in between, like I had an hour in between work, my first and second job, and right before I would go to bed, I'd try and stream for an hour. So just as it was something fun to experience and to mess around with. Nothing I would ever think of doing full time, but it was cool. I'm very passionate about video games, and I never thought of myself as an entertainer, but it started off slow. It started off with my mom sharing my stream, and her having her like 5 other friends in their 60s hang out and ask me what a first person shooter was and what we were doing. And slowly but surely, I've been fortunate enough to get rated and shared by some amazing content creators, which brought uh, a big audiences and reach that I never probably would have had on my own, uh, to my page, to my channel. And then it just kind of went from there, and more and more people hopped in, and I moved, and the stream moved with me to Portland, and I lost my job like a lot of people did when COVID happened,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I got all this time, I can stream a little bit more, and lo and behold, a lot of people had a lot of time to watch streamers.
Yeah.
Lockdown, and it was a giant uptick, I know, in viewership
Mhm.
on almost every platform.
Correct.
And so I started, building a little bit more audience, and a lot more people started tuning in, and I was able to monetize enough where I could go full time, and I started streaming every day, and it was a job for me, and I could afford groceries and rent. And it was this crazy idea that, my mom, when I was a kid, would say, "Ryan, stop playing Halo, go outside." And now I can treat her to dinner with my video game money and be like, "Ha, mom, I told you."
Told you it was gonna do something for me. I
And then yeah,
yeah.
so
That's awesome. How is your relationship with your mom, now that she knows that, oh my gosh, my son played video games and now he's doing it full time? Like, how does she feel about that?
she loves it because she can always see what I'm doing all the time at work. She can just pop in, and my community like gets excited. I think a lot of people do if they see a family friend or especially a
Yeah.
parent hop in. They're like, "Oh, it's Ryan's mom," or my grandma hops in. Everyone gets all excited, and your son's the best. But I think she likes it because I'm not always the best with communication, and I like to keep to myself. And sometimes I don't call my mom back as soon as I should. And the fact that she can hop into chat and I have to respond to her, I think she kind of likes that.
Yeah, yeah. My mom does the same thing. She's like, "You didn't respond to my text, so I'm just gonna come to your chat." I'm like,
Yup.
"Okay, hey, I can't escape you here." It's really nice when your family supports you. So that is
Yeah.
super super cool. Having your family a part of your story, your mom
Oh
being very supportive. That is awesome.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is your first fundraiser with Tiltify. What have been your? I know you're not sitting at your computer fundraising and you're constantly looking at milestones and incentives, or I'm not really sure how you're doing your fundraiser right now while you're traveling, but what are your favorite things about raising, money with Tiltify?
I think it's been really great being on the road
Mm-hmm.
because obviously I stream a lot, but there's a lot of days I don't stream. I haven't streamed in 2 days live because internet can be choppy or there's a lot of humidity out, and I don't want to expose a lot of tech that's not waterproof. It's all the
Yeah.
water in the air, and this and like, it can be just rain or it's too hot. Like I don't want, and it's exhausting streaming and talking to chat and not trying to get hit by 18 wheelers on a no shoulder road. So sometimes I prefer not to. And on those days that I don't, I'm still interacting with so many people through these towns, like these tiny towns, and or sometimes big cities, gas stations, and just every part of this country. And when I'm riding a bike, the bike that I have, and I have these big old bags on it, I got a sleeping bag, and I definitely don't look like I'm out for a Sunday stroll. You get the old like 100 questions, and where you going, where you from, et cetera,
Mhm.
et cetera. And obviously a lot of them ask, are you doing it for something? And then I say, yeah, I'm a streamer. I'm doing it for charity. And the coolest thing about Tiltify is that I have that link, and everyone has a phone, and so many people like, oh, I don't have any money on me. Is there like some way I can do it? And you just show them the link or a QR code, and they're just happy to do it like right there. And it makes
Wow.
it so accessible to people that aren't watching the stream, obviously, that still want to give. And I'd say probably 35% of the donations that have come through have just been from people that I met on the street, or people that have talked to me just for 15 minutes and just are inspired or overjoyed, or just have a connection to cancer, or just know the charity in general, because who the heck doesn't like St. Jude? It's an incredible organization.
Mhm.
So like I said, Tiltify has brought the non-streaming community that would have no way of donating to donate, which has been amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And we just released a QR code this year. So I'm so happy that people are utilizing it and it's so easy
Yeah,
to use. You meet a
yeah, it's in the
friend.
top right. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. You meet a friend, you're like, hey, just scan this and you can donate right here. And it's so efficient. I love
So
that.
convenient.
Yeah. That is awesome. Okay. That just made my day because, outside of streaming, you can still make a difference. And I think you're a
Yeah,
really good example of that. So, I
and
know
the
you're
engineering team
streaming,
is going to be
but
stoked.
yeah, yeah. Like you are still streaming, but you're still, you know, conversing with others that are just around you and your environment. So that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dev team is definitely going to love hearing that. So awesome. And, I have one last question for you. What advice would you share with someone that is interested in doing their first fundraiser?
um Well, I think incentives are always an awesome addition. I'm working with, St. Jude, what's St. Jude Play Live, or St. Jude Live. So they, I'm fortunate enough where they have got some incentives for me, because I've already poured in an incredible amount of money just to get an IRL set up,
Yeah.
which is not cheap, and data and all that stuff is tough. Incentives are solid. I think is a big fun thing to get people involved, even if it's not just like a headset or something fun like a physical thing. But I've done fundraisers in the past, and making fun of yourself or doing something that people really want to see is a fantastic way to get people to donate.
And
I think
what fun
incentives are.
things? Yeah, incentives are great. And what fun things have you done with incentives? If you want to share with
Uh,
us.
yeah, I've done a bunch of charities before. I've done some ones for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I do a lot. I'm very strict on things I do and do not like. Uh,
Hmm.
so I decided to have the incentives of all the things I did not like. I'm not a fan of spice, so there are incentives for like eating a habanero, which is a frightening task for someone like me, or pickles, which oh god, pickles are the worst thing in the world. So eating a pickle or pickle juice, like drawn mustaches. Geez, I don't even know. My hair in ponytails. I got long red hair, and
Hmm.
everyone likes to like say that I look like Wendy from Wendy's fast food, and so they really
Oh
for
my
like there's an
goodness.
incentive for putting my hair in pony, or like what is it, little buns, whatever would you call it, pony, what
Pigtails.
are
Yeah.
pigtails? There it is. So
Oh my goodness.
just like play to your strengths, and your community more than anyone, so
Yeah.
just by hanging out with them, you'll know what they would want to do, and even opening it up to them, and them coming up with ideas can be a really awesome way.
That is hilarious. You do the pigtails?
Yeah, yeah,
I love
it was
it.
something.
I love it. That is very creative. And that's how you just, your community best and they just like to torture you sometimes. That is
Oh
so
yeah,
funny.
that's very good. You just keep saying that in the back of your head.
Yep, yep. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. That's what I tell myself. It's for the kids. Well, you know what, Ryan? Thank you so much for chatting with me today. And I'm so happy we got to know a little bit more about you, your content, and, the fun event you're doing, traveling all across the country, which is amazing. And please be safe out there with everything going on and rising. Just take good care of yourself. Ryan, it was awesome chatting with you today and getting to learn more about your story and your content creation journey and the amazing event you're doing, traveling all across the country for charity for St. Jude Play Live. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I want our community to be able to keep up with you and all your fundraising efforts and check out your content. So let everybody know where we can find you.
Yeah, so I stream on Facebook Gaming. So if you guys have a Facebook, you can just type in RedHeadRyan and I should pop up, or I think it's fb.gg/RedHeadRyan official if you want to just type in the URL. On Twitter, I'm just gaming RHR. And those are, I mean, I think I have an Instagram. It's just Redhead Ryan, but those just Twitter and Facebook are the main avenues that you're gonna find me at.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ryan. And everyone, go check Ryan out. The links will be down below in our blog and in the description. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
Hey, thank you, Ashley. Bye.